Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So tonight we've got MLB playoffs starting up, and we're going to go through right now, and we're going to pick who I think is going to win the AL and NL wild card series. Um, right here, this is on MLB.com. You can go through, and I think you win like $100,000 if you get them all right, or you get entered into a sweepstakes or something like that. I'm not getting them all right, but we're going to try to. I'm going to go through and we're going to click every single one. Now, I'm only going to do, again, the wild card series. I won't do the ALDS or the NLDS, and I won't do, I won't continue to go on right now, at least with you guys on screen. You guys will see me pick the wild card series, and then I'll do the rest, but we'll save that for another time. Okay? I'm going to try to be a little bit quiet because it's early in the morning. Both my kids are sleeping, so I don't want to wake them up just yet, although I'm sure one of them or both of them will probably come walking in here at some point. Okay, we're going to start here with the Rays series. I don't know why the Rays are already selected. I'm not sure why that happened. But anyways, we'll go through it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. In the comment section below, let me know who you think is going to win every series. And again, let's just do the wild card series. Let's not do the entire World Series just yet. Okay, so let's start off looking at the Rays and the Blue Jays. So Rays, another great season coming into this year. Every year it seems like people kind of underrate them, but they have unbelievable pitching, starting pitching, bullpen. Their pitching really carries them. They've done a great job at developing talent, but especially pitching talent and acquiring pitching talent. And so I really like the Rays, not just in this series, but throughout the playoffs. Now, the Blue Jays have been, they are young and they're talented. I think everybody knows that. They're probably a couple years early. I don't think anyone expected them. Maybe some expected them to make the playoffs this year. 32-28, really solid year. But I do think that this should be an interesting series because they've played 10 times this season. Now, the Rays have won 6 of the 10. But it's been a really, really tight series. There's been a couple of extra innings wins. If you look at the run differential in the series, it's really, really close. So again, it should be an exciting series, but I think that the Rays and their pitching is probably just a little bit too much. I'm going to go with the Rays over the Blue Jays in the first round, okay? So we've already got that selected there. Okay, now let's go down to the Indians against the Yankees. Okay, so the Indians 35-25, the 4 seed against the Yankees 33-27, the 5 seed. Let's start off here. Let's start off talking with the Indians. Pitching. Man, Bieber, unbelievable season. Probably going to be the AL Cy Young Award winner. Cleveland's rotation, very, very solid. Offensively, they struggle a bit though, right? Offensively, you got Jose Ramirez, and then I just don't know if they have enough offense. Now the pitching should really keep them in it. But I like the Yankees pitching as well. I think the Yankees have enough pitching. I think the Yankees have enough bullpen. And then when you look offensively, it's been a weird year for the Yankees. I expected them to play a little bit better. They've been kind of up and down. They've had, injuries again. They always seem to have injuries. And they're struggling down the stretch. But with all that being said, I picked the Yankees early on in the season, and I'm going to stick with them. They still have the offense, and they've had it. DJ LeMahieu, I think we all know. I call him the greatest hitter of all time. But you've got a guy that's the batting champion in the league, and then you've got Luke Voigt, who hit a ton of home runs, leading the league in homers. And so you add, I guess I don't want to say you add those two to the other guys because we already knew they were solid players. But I think Voigt's home runs are maybe a little bit surprising, leading the league in home runs. I just like the Yankees all around. I think they've got enough pitching, and I think they have enough hitting to get by the Indians, just based on the Indians not being a great offensive team. And so I'm going to go Yankees it seems like, I've been talking to a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people are picking the Indians. But I'm sticking Yankees again. Maybe it's because I picked them early in the year, but we're going to stick with them. Okay, next series you have the Twins, the 3 seed, 36 and 24 against the Astros, the 6 seed, 29 and 31, so under 500. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Twins, man, I like the Twins. They've had a great year. They're coming into the playoffs playing really well. I talked a little bit last night in my live session about how maybe that doesn't matter so much, but man, Houston's limping into the playoffs. They've really kind of limped the entire season. You lose Verlander to injury. Obviously, you lost Cole in the offseason. The offense has not been, not been what they're used to. Again, a lot of people saying, well, bang, bang. Yeah, it's hard to hit when you don't know what's coming. I don't want to say it's all that, but they've had, Alvarez has been injured. Altuve's really struggled this year. And with the Twins they still have the offense, right? They've got a lot of power. They've got a really, really deep lineup, a lineup that you don't want to have to, you don't want to have to go through that entire lineup. I know a couple of guys aren't having great years, but overall, I think there's still a ton of talent there. Pitching wise, I like the Twins. Kenta Maeda has been, a great pickup for them. And then if you look at the bullpens, I mean, the Astros bullpen has not been great. They've had a lot of guys that, are either injured or ended up opting out. And so I think you've got to go Twins here. The Astros just haven't been a good ball club basically the entire season. I can't see the Astros beating the Twins. All right, it's not letting me pick here. Here we go. Okay, there we go, finally. So we're going to go Twins right there. Whoops, no, I don't want the Twins to go that far. There we go. Jeez Louise. Okay, next we have the number 2 seed, the Oakland Athletics, 36 and 24 versus the White Sox, the 7 seed, 35 and 25. This should be an interesting series. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's you've got the A's who have kind of been really consistently good over the last couple of years. Again, another team, they kind of remind me of the Rays. They don't get a ton of credit all the time, but they're just really, really solid all around. They've done a great job out there. And they're playing the White Sox, who have made a great jump this year. Been really an exciting team to watch. They've got some really young players that have played really, really well, and they've got, they made a couple of additions. You bring in Grandal, you got Keuchel, and then again you got Luis Robert, who's been just a freak show as a young guy, and Giolito's had, a solid year. And so they struggled again going into the playoffs, but again, I feel when I look at it, I say, okay, who's got the more talent? Who's got better pitching? Yeah, they might have struggled down the stretch, but overall they had, I thought, a really, really solid year. And I think this is a pretty even series. I think I'm leaning White Sox. I think obviously I could see the A's winning, but I like the White Sox. I like them offensively. I think you've got Abreu's had a huge year. Tim Anderson, another great year. I probably like them more offensively right now than the A's. And then when it comes to pitching, I'd say they're both pretty similar when it comes to starting pitching. And then bullpen, the A's probably have the advantage. They do have the advantage, especially late in the game. But I think there's just, I don't know, I think it's been a really good story for the White Sox this year. And I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to say that they win this short series over the A's. Let's see if it'll let me select the White Sox. It doesn't want to let me. There we go. Okay. So that's what we have making it to the ALDS. We've got the Rays will be facing off against the Yankees. We've got the Twins will be facing off against the White Sox. Okay, so now over in the NL Wild Card Series, we've got the Dodgers, the number 1 seed, 43 and 17, against the Brewers, 29 and 31. I'm going again. Anything can happen in these short series, but I'm going Dodgers. I think the Dodgers were my pick. I think there were a lot of people's pick at the beginning of the year to win the whole thing. They just get so much depth. They don't really have weaknesses anywhere. and how they got the best record in the majors. They got the best or the biggest run differential. And they're playing against the Brewers, who have just not had a great season. They kind of backed their way into the playoffs here. They finished under 500. And although they do have, they've got a couple of guys in the back of the bullpen that have been very, very good this year. But I just think the Dodgers they're just too much. I think that offense, with their depth, and they can still do so many things. They've got a great bench. I'm going Dodgers here over the Brewers. There we go. Okay, next we have the Padres, the 4 seed, 37-23, versus the Cardinals, the 5 seed, 30-28. What a story the Padres have been this year. Super exciting team. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been unbelievable. Manny Machado has been great, especially down the stretch. Their pitching has been very good. I think the biggest question mark, I think, in this series is just going to be the health of the Padres starting pitching. Is Clevenger going to be able to pitch? Is Lamet going to be able to pitch? How, if they can pitch, how healthy are they? I think that is a huge issue. I think if they're not able to pitch or pitch well because of injury, then obviously that really opens up the series here. I'm going to stick with the Padres. I think the Cardinals are a solid team, but I've been so excited to watch the Padres this year, and good for them, and good for San Diego. Obviously, they've kind of struggled for a really long time, but good things happening over there. And so I'm kind of pulling for the Padres. Maybe that's why I'm going to pick them also. But I just think that they are super talented, and I think, again, health, if they can hopefully get those guys playing, then I'm going to go with the Padres over the Cardinals. And again, this website, I don't know if it's just delayed or what. There we go. Okay, next we have the number 3 seed, the Cubs, 34-26 against the Marlins, the 6 seed. What? Is that a misprint? No, it's not a misprint. 31-29. Their entire team tested positive early in the year, basically, but they fought their way back, and congratulations to them. Ended a long postseason drought. And so we'll see what happens in this series. I think, the Marlins, hey, good story. I just don't know. And it's not like I think the Cubs are great. I think the Cubs are okay. But I just think the Cubs are going to beat the Marlins here in the short series. Yu Darvish had a fantastic year for the Cubs, and they've got Cal Hendricks, who a veteran guy that I always like, always seems to pitch well. I don't know, not with the greatest stuff in the world, but just pinpoint accuracy and good movement. So I like those guys. I think the Marlins are still really young. I think their starting rotation is young. They've struggled a little bit here towards the end of the season, and the Cubs are going to need their guys offensively to get going here, but the Marlins haven't been. The Marlins aren't great offensively, and so I'm going to go with the Cubs in the 3-game series here. So let's go Cubbies, go Cubs, go. Okay, and in the last series here, we've got the number 2 Braves, 35-25 against the number 7 seed, the Reds, 31-29. Man, I think this is going to be such an exciting series. I've gone back and forth with this. I don't know who I want to pick. I even while I've been talking right now, I'm flip-flopping back and forth. So the Braves, offensively, man, Freddie Freeman, Ozuna, Acuna, they've got a great offense. And they've got, especially those 3 guys, just raking. But then I look at the Reds starting pitching, right? And they've got Trevor Bauer, who has a really good chance at winning the NL Cy Young. And then you've got Castillo, and you've got Sonny Gray. And, I always tend to lean a little bit towards pitching, because I think if you've got a couple of horses at the top of the rotation, you can really ride those guys. And the Reds offensively hadn't been great. I thought they'd be better, but then they've been swinging the bats better of late. Does that continue? Does it not? I don't know. I'm just talking, so I don't have to pick a team, because I can't decide who I want to pick. Who do I want to pick? I was going to go Braves. Then I said, as I was talking, I said, no, I'm going to switch to the Reds. But now that I've talked even more, I'm going to go with the Braves. Oh, man. I wanted to do the Reds. Should I do the Reds? No, I'm going to do Braves. I'm going to do Reds. No. Oh, well, it chose the Braves for me. Can we go the... Do we really want to go the Braves? That means we're just going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sticking with the Braves, okay? I love that offense. And I just went against everything I just said because I usually like to go with the pitching. But I'm going to go this series, I'm going to go with the Braves, okay? So that's what we have making it to the NLDS. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and then we'll do the NLDS and the ALDS in our next video once we get there. And then we'll just keep moving on. So let me know what you think. Comment section below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And we will talk to you later.